defined as the unselfish concern for the welfare of others. If there's one person in my life who truly encapsulates the essence of that word, it's my dad. I look at my dad and I see greatness. Great in his acts, great in his constitution, great in his resilience, and great is his lifelong sacrifice. When my dad was a boy, his whole life ahead of him, his father, my grandfather, died suddenly, and my dad was forced to take over that role as head of the family. He quit school to get a job to support his whole family, which was, as you may know, no small conclave. He did so without complaint, and he gave his mom every single penny he earned. He kept nothing for himself. Throughout his life, my dad dedicated time and effort to raise money for the Knight of Providence in Malta. He sought no compensation for his efforts. He sought no recognition. He simply did it because he felt the need. I myself as a boy can recall every night my dad waking up at 10 p.m. to head out into the cold to work all night while I slept in a warm bed, again, to support his family. He did so without complaint, even when he was sick. I can remember growing up, and even now, there's my dad uncovering some news of some contest or some festival and presenting it to me and encouraging me to enter. At the heart of all of my successes therein was my dad's impetus. He's got the constitution of a rock. I've seen him pit himself against seemingly hopeless odds to triumph where others fail. From repairing a boat motor that a licensed mechanic who specialized in such things said was beyond repair, to leading a convoy of vehicles down the interstate in the most treacherous blizzard imaginable, to even opening up my sewer access, which had been rusted shut for close to 100 years. Through sweat and toil, my dad did it. All the dirtiest jobs, the jobs nobody wanted to touch, my dad came to the rescue.
Okay, darling.
Yeah, okay. No.
كيسة ها؟
كيسة.
اوكي اوكي خلاص. راح كمو كيسة راجع.
كمو كيسة.
اوكي. راجع. اوكي تقطع يعني يخشن بلا.
لا مش هخشن
بلاش يخشن. اوكي كمل السؤال بس ها. You want to drive or take that? Did you see? Hey. Did you see how Lewis can mess up بالساعة? Okay. Okay.
شنطة جنيئة.
وانتفض اللمانة فوق النهر الأخرى. وصلنا عندو شي ħaġa mill-aħbarijiet li ċivajna l-ġemma minn Malta. L-ħadd li għax ma tantx jista' jikteb peress li għandu l-arthritis għalli għamil l-pjaċir u avża speċjalment il-Mustin. Okay, what do you want, Mates? Choo-choo train. Okay, good.
Okay, you go choo-choo train.
Sing it for us, Santisa.
You have to wear no finger, has a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other fingers used to laugh, call him names, and they did the Paul would off, joining the wind, yeah, game.
Good girl.
Come on, girl. Don't pick your nose.
Yes, I am.
What's the matter, Mates?
Mommy, let me cry.
Why, Sabiha?
Because
Why didn't you put the shoes on?
I can't.
Why? You might step on a nail.
No, but they won't help me.
Okay, I help you. You come here. Alfred Fenech, Mary, Joe, nixtiequlkom il-komplament ta' smieħ it-tajjeb.
Saħħa.
Yeah, see.
Mr. Alfred and Doris Fenech walking on the frozen Hyde Park, pretending to enjoying themselves. And here comes Martez. Ready?
$10.
Tell Martez to shut up.
Shut up, man.
So much better counter.
That's enough. Let's go.
I, Alfred Fenech, renew the gift of myself to you, Doris. I renew the vow of my love with all my heart. I thank you with all my love. I embrace you.
I, Doris, I renew the gift of myself to you, Freddie. I renew the vow of my love with all my heart. I thank you. With all my love, I embrace you.
Thank you for the life of Freddie and Doris, and for their years together. Continue to fill their hearts with love and affection for each other. Bless them and their children and their grandchildren, and all together.
See everything you saw there on one photo.
Ah, okay.
Oh! 50 years of love and patience. Thank you guys for all coming and sharing in sharing our celebration of our newly re-weds. Both parents instilled in me a drive for excellence, a financial discipline, a sense of adventure, and a drive for both harmony and balance in all aspects of my life, including all the people I deal with. It's all guided by a moral compass which never wavers from home, and that home is a stalwart home seated firmly in truth. Together, they make a team, two parts to one awesome whole. On that note, my friend Sean insists that they should be doing stand-up comedy because they'd make a fortune just hectoring each other. Yeah. There's always been a measure of entertainment where Doris and Freddie are concerned. There's always been a commitment to the nest and to the 5 chicks they hatched, and there's always been love. I know beyond a doubt, when they canter past the pearly gates, St. Peter's going to roll out that red carpet. So now, I'd like you all to raise your glasses, not in a simple toast, in a salute to my 2 greatest heroes, Doris and Alfred Fenech. I love you.
Now to Costa Rica. And the world.
كيف تريد؟
No, this
That's your plate.
I write my case about the comedy.
That's your plate.
Okay, listen everybody. Thank you very much for coming, all of you. And I really especially want to thank my kids for all the work they did. Thank you so much, my wonderful. It's hard to believe that 50 years ago we were doing just this, but in a bigger hall. And
a bigger dress.
And I was wearing white. So I have to tell you how I met Freddie. I really did.
Yes.
Okay. So I come here when I was 16 years old, right? And then after a while, I went to the church, and Father Bonavilla was the priest those days. And I said, Father, I really like to make some Maltese friends. And he said, no problem. He said, you're in the right place. Come, and every week they meet for Legion of Mary. So I go, and he is there, sitting in front. I didn't even see him. I didn't even see him. When we came out, he said, you want to come for a coffee? I said, no, I gotta go home, you know, because before the priest warned me, you know, don't go nowhere by yourself with another boy.
Just ready.
Then his sister came, Margaret came, and he said to me, this is my sister. And I said, you live with your family? He said, even my mother said, okay, if your mother is there, I'll come. So that's how I met my Freddie. Thank you again.
Freddie, how did you meet her friend?
I'm going to tell you a short story. So this guy, this couple, they were celebrating 60th anniversary. And they were interviewed on the radio or TV, you know. And he said, how did you manage to stay together 60 years? He said, when we went for our honeymoon, we went to Italy. He said, 60 years later, I went to pick her up. I want to thank you all for coming here to share this little celebration with us, and I thank the choir too that they showed up, and they were singing in the church too, in the congregation. And thank you very much. Okay, Steve.
We actually have a blessing from the Vatican.
He's running a little late.
The 50th wedding anniversary. You crazy? Oh, no, sorry, that's not. So they put the year 63 to 2013. Go to even our Prime Minister, Stephen Harper.
Oh, yeah.
And he asked me how I was doing. I'm just kidding. He said, how's that crazy Doris? And I said, she's great. So the first one comes from, he signed it personally from the Prime Minister of Canada. And it says, Alfred and Doris Fenech, it is a great pleasure to send you best wishes and warmest congratulations on the occasion of your 50th anniversary.
That's nice.
I'm Carm, and I'm the second child, or the first daughter. And I just want to say I love you very much, Mom and Dad, and happy anniversary.
Hey Mom and Dad, happy anniversary. I'm sorry I missed your party, and greetings from China incidentally. Wishing you the best for another 50 years. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Nawgurawlek ħafna affarijiet sbieħ u ġurnata sabiħa u l-kumplament tal-ħajja tajba. Okay, happy anniversary. Wish you all the best in your life. San, bye. Hi, San.
Wait, tell me. Like enough peanuts.
Yes.
Dad, look.
Look at Mom. You got some on your face.
It's on your chin. It's on your chin right here.
Again, Mom. Take two.
Not in my eye.
in the garage doors for the second time. Motors. Or those pads. Was a son of a bitch, Fredo. Oh, we got it on. Oh, before you tighten that, can I just take a look at underneath? Yeah, that's what the new rotor looks like. Washing machine going in. Fenech Plumbing. Alright, Fredo. Do you want to go? Huh? We have to inaugurate the machine. Go in there. Here. I do have soap. Ma, yeah, bless it with the soap, Ma. That's right. I'm anointing it. Bless God. Okay, now do the agitating dance. Dad, you too. True.
Jena Alfred Fenech flimkien mal-Maltese Doris u l-familja nixtieq ix-xewqat tal-miliet u tas-sena tajba lit-telespettaturi li jsegwu dan il-programm. Fil-waqt ukoll il-dawk il-Maltin u Għawċin li matul is-sena kelli l-opportunità li nwaslhom it-tislijiet u x-xewqat li rabathom tagħhom ġewwa Malta fuq il-mezzi tax-xandir bħal-radio u t-television. Kemm nixtieqilkom kollha il-miliet u s-sena tajba.
All I know is for 24 years we produced a telethon for the handicapped and many other things that you never see Freddie without his camera. Always going on from you. It's not like it. Personalment ħdimt miegħu ma nafx kemm sena fil-choir, fil-Knisja, فوق بروجكت الدراسة كانت التلثون ودايم عندنا في مكان راس مراس ايد سويت ودايم هذا في شيء congratulations Fred منا ونشتراو اللي تبقى تخدم على الكوميونتي المالتية هي الشوق على مصر تاعنا قطع من سنة تلقى مصر ودين
Freddie is the Medal of Merit, the Medallion of Merit, the Sovereign Military Order, Knights of Providence of New York, St. James, Jerusalem, Knights of Malta. Congratulations. For a long time, Freddie, I've had my eye on you. And since I got to know you 2 years ago, I observed you doing all this work, and for nothing, volunteering, just because of the love of the Maltese, Knight of Maltin, who volunteered. Ma nix altruistic. Allora, biex naqlu.
Nixxenu l-għakwa, li mux bil-nam programmi minn Malta għannek u kodissa tal-ħaddessi nam il-programm fuq il-radio, fuq il-super radio, fejna nibatu nil-rekordijiet naħtrom biex il-darbata tal-kom jisimaw ġo Malta.
In the early 1970s, Toronto was a very different place, as many of you likely know, in the sense that what was available to ethnic diasporas was very, very minimal. So there was no global television network, there was no Omni, there was basically no ethnic television whatsoever in the early 1970s. And my father was really pioneering in this respect. And he had this idea to prepare a show, basically a variety show, a news show for Maltese people living in Toronto and wherever the airwaves could reach them. And so he began a show called, I think, Bejnietna L Maltin, and so he reached out, in a sense, to all of us, and it really became a family affair. But my dad, did really yeoman's work for Knight of Providence, and he would rope everybody in. Anyone who was anybody in the Maltese community would come in and work that telethon. And it was a long affair. I remember coming home exhausted. I was 8. And in a sense, he was sort of giving back to the Maltese community through his family. And as a child, I never appreciated it the way I appreciate it now, right? And the legacy he's left behind. It wasn't an easy legacy to establish.
So his name seems eponymous with that kind of a person, and that's what he was. He was a very smart man. And I followed my dad throughout every iteration of the show. And one thing I learned through it all, the show must go on. So my dad was a true mensch in that regard. No greater seed existed than the actual telethon, because it was a live broadcast. And in that regard, my dad was a true maestro because of all the aspects, not just the tangible aspects of hosting the show and emceeing the whole affair, but just his organizational skills were just commendable. I'm basically doing the same kind of TV that we did during the telethon. It's live television broadcast across Canada. And even outside of the Maltese show, my dad and I collaborated in a lot of projects. We shot and produced commercials that were on TV, on Omni, as well as being hired to shoot like info spots. I marveled, when my dad actually came to the premiere of one of my films at a festival here in Toronto, and just to have him in the audience, he was the educator in that regard.
And there's a lot of accolades, like awards he's received from the government right up to the Knights of Malta. But my father truly loved meeting other Maltese in the diaspora and sharing their story on his program. That was a highlight for him. And a quick aside, even when we went to Malta on vacation, my father would bring his equipment and I'd tag along and he'd interview well-known celebrities in Malta and politicians from both parties. So once a year as a party, he was the one who founded the Knight of Providence in 1965. And when he met my dad, they hashed this plan to start this telethon. There's one letter in particular that caught my attention. It said, "You are the spark that God has chosen to enkindle the fire in the hearts of thousands of Maltese who are now friends and helpers of this home." Now, the outpouring of support that resulted from the Maltese community in the GTA was overwhelming. And that spark empowered the entire community. And unbeknownst to me, my brother said this to him, and my other brother, talking about the legacy, that spark changed my life. For Steve, it was his career path, but for me, it was other things. So the telethon became a calendar event at the Maltese community here in Toronto. Months before the actual telethon, my father was already hard at work.
Dad had already been anchoring the Maltese show for many years. Even though I was really little, Dad made media feel within reach and accessible. It was no big deal to be in a television studio. We could follow a pathway into the creative arts, and this sparked, to use Dave's word, inspiration in all of us. Writing, filmmaking, photography, teaching, broadcasting, creating. I remember tagging along with my dad to grab cable, where I would usually find a desk and draw or color or do homework. He didn't use child labor on me. Lucky, but occasionally I would peek inside the set and watch my dad interviewing guests. And then during the break, he'd always buy me a chocolate bar, a coffee crisp, which was his favorite. And Dad would record messages from Maltese living in Toronto and then send them to Malta to be broadcast on the Rediffusion. For the opening credits, Dad chose the Waltz from the Malta Suite by Charles Cavalieri, a song that for many years would introduce the show to viewers. And it had almost like a Pavlovian response. You'd hear that initial song and I'd be like, oh, that's Dad's show. In the many years Dad anchored the show, he sat across from many highly esteemed guests, including former late Prime Minister Dom Mintoff. Dad inspired us not only to pursue our passions, but to do so with altruism, with empathy, kindness, humility, and generosity. And even though I was really little, I do remember when I would watch Dad run the telethon, I felt like I was watching a 5-star general carry out an operation with military precision. Dad was so on it. He maintained this steadfast commitment to bringing news to the Maltese Canadian diaspora. That campaign did not end with the show. He led so many other initiatives over the years, including a radio program on Super One and his YouTube channels. Dad was a YouTube star before that became a thing. And he never made it about himself. Dad was humble to the core. And of course, as my brother mentioned, none of this would have been possible without the bottomless well of loving patience and enduring support from my mom, Doris Fenech. She didn't always have patience in silence. A couple of weeks ago, I stepped into Dad's home studio for the first time in months. Something I struggled to do since he passed. But there, I found tremendous comfort. I could sense his presence as I went through the hundreds of DVDs, 8mm, VHS, and cassette tapes. We are so fortunate to have Dad's many recordings because we can hear his voice and see him doing what he loved. He's ever present as a result of all of this. And because he had multiple computers in his home studio, we would often work together in silence. Him on a video project and me as I was working on my first novel. Dad and I had a very comfortable ability to occupy the same space, but not feel this need to fill the quiet. And that is something very rare for Maltese people. We could just be in each other's creative presence. And as I went through his many, many things, I kept laughing to myself because I could hear his voice affectionately saying, Tawadli tapes. Don't mix up my tapes. I'm so proud of my dad, of his legacy, and our ability to share it with all of you. He embodied the very best of what it is to be Maltese and to be Canadian. And Dad made the very best pastizzi.
Nice soup.
Back on the
Generation between us. And some of the lyrics were parental advisory necessary at first. It was to be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon
dak kien kollox għallum, qabdu il-telefon u ċemplu l-linja ta'kom u għattu l-opinjoni ta'kom. Musi kemm nerġgħu taqgħu, darba ħajna fil-Fenech, fisem sħabi nixtieqkom il-komplement ta' smieħ tajjeb.